Captain, I appreciate your seeing me at such short notice.
I understand there was some trouble over the weekend down in Cuba?
Yes, sir. This past Friday evening, 2 Marines, a Corporal Harold Dawson and a Private Loudon Downey, entered the barracks room of one Private William Santiago and assaulted him. Santiago was transferred to the base hospital where he died approximately an hour later. The NIS agent who took their statements maintains that they were trying to prevent Santiago from naming him in a fence line shooting incident. They're scheduled to have a hearing down in Cuba at 1600 hours.
What's the problem?
Sir, Dawson and Downey are both recruiting poster Marines. Santiago was known to be a screw-up. I'm thinking it's sounding an awful lot like a code red.
Christ.
Captain, I'd like them moved up to Washington and assigned counsel. Someone who can really look into this. Someone who possesses a familiarity with the inner workings of the military. In short, Captain, I'd like to suggest that I am assigned to represent them.
You're much too valuable in your present assignment to be wasted on what I'm sure will boil down to a 5-minute plea bargain and a week's worth of paperwork.
Excuse me, sorry I'm late.
I'm sure you don't have a good excuse, and so I won't force you up with a bad one. Sit down, I have a case for you. Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Marine Corporal Dawson illegally fires a round from his weapon across the fence line into Cuban territory.
What's a fence line?
It's a big wall separating the good guys from the bad guys. Private William Santiago threatens to rat on Dawson to the Naval Investigative Service. Dawson and another member of his unit, Private Loudon Downey, visit Santiago's room, tie him up, stuff a rag down his throat. An hour later, Santiago's dead. Attending physician says the rag was treated with some kind of toxin.
They poisoned the rag?
Not according to them.
What did they say?
Not much. They're being flown up here tomorrow, and on Thursday at 0600 hours, you'll catch a transport down to Cuba. Find out what you can. Meantime, go across the yard, visit Lieutenant Commander Joanne Calloway. She's the one that brought them up here. She'll fill you in on all she has. Any questions?
Just flight to Cuba. That's 0600 hours in the morning, sir.
My point is that I think Code Red still go on down here. Do Code Red still happen on this base, Colonel?
Joe, the Colonel does not need to answer that.
Yeah, he does.
No, he really doesn't.
Yeah, he really does, Colonel.
You know, it just hit me, Danny. She outranks you.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna tell you something, Danny. You're the luckiest man in the world. There is, believe me, gentlemen, nothing sexier than a woman you have to salute to in the morning. Promote of all, I say.
I'm still waiting on an answer to my question, sir.
Take caution your tone there, Commander. I'm a fair guy, but this heat is making me absolutely fucking crazy. You want to know about Code Reds? I run my base how I run my base. You want to investigate me? Roll the dice and take your chances. I eat breakfast 80 yards from 4,000 Cubans that are trained to kill me. So don't think for 1 second you're going to come down here, flash a badge, make me nervous.
Let's go. Colonel, I just need a copy of Santiago's transfer order.
For the file?
Yeah, you guys have paperwork for that sort of thing. I just need it for my file.
Of course you can have a copy for the file.
Okay.
I'm here to help you in any way I can. You know that, don't you?
Yes, sir.
But you gotta ask me nicely.
I beg your pardon?
You gotta ask me nicely. You see, Danny, I can deal with the bullets and the bombs. I don't want money and I don't want medals. But what I do want is for you to stand there in that faggoty white uniform and with that Harvard mouth extend me some fucking courtesy. You gotta ask me nicely.
Colonel Jessup, if it's not too much trouble, I'd like a copy of the transfer order. Sir.
No problem.
Thank you, sir.
I hate casualties, Jonathan. There's casualties even in victory. The spirit of this base, the fabric of the Corps, the foundation of the unit. These are things we're dying for. Dawson and Downey don't know it yet, but they're smothering a grenade.
Here's the deal. You get a soft, involuntary manslaughter, 2 years, you're home in 6 months. Whoa, Caffey, you're the greatest lawyer in the world. Whoa, how can we ever? Thank you. Fellas, did you hear what I said? You'll be home in 6 months.
I'm afraid we can't do that, sir.
Do what? Did you put them up to this?
Make a deal, sir. We did our job. If that is the consequence, we're prepared to take them. What we won't say is we're guilty, sir.
Lieutenant Kendrick, in your opinion, was Private Santiago a good Marine?
I say he was about average, but I don't want to trample on a man's grave.
These are the last 3 fitness reports you signed for Lance Corporal Dawson. Dawson received 2 grades of exceptional. But on this latest report, dated June 9th of this year, he received a grade of below average. Do you recall why he received such a poor grade on this report?
I'm sure I don't, Lieutenant. I have many men under my charge.
Do you recall an incident involving a private first-class Curtis who was found to be stealing liquor from the officers' club?
Yes.
Did you report Private Curtis to the proper authorities?
I have 2 books by my bedside, Lieutenant. The Marine Code of Conduct and the King James Bible. The only proper authorities that I'm aware of are my commanding officer, Colonel Nathan R. Jessup, and the Lord our God.
Did you report Private Curtis to your superiors?
I remember being fond of Private Curtis and not wanting to tarnish his record with a formal charge.
Lieutenant, do you know what a code red is?
Yes.
Have you ever ordered a code red?
No, I have not.
Lieutenant, did you order Dawson and 2 other men to make sure that Private Curtis received no food or drink, except water, for a period of 7 days?
That's a distortion of the truth. Private Curtis was placed on barracks restriction. He was given water and vitamin supplements, and I can assure you at no time was his health in any danger.
But you did order the barracks restriction, and you did order the denial of food, didn't you, Lieutenant?
Yes.
Wouldn't this form of discipline be considered a code red?
Not necessarily.
If I asked the other 8,000 men in Guantanamo Bay to testify, would they consider it a code red?
Please, the court. The witness can't possibly testify as to what 8,000 other men might say. We object to this entire line of questioning as argumentative and irrelevant badgering of the witness.
The government's objection is sustained. Lieutenant Galloway, I'd like to remind you, you're now questioning a Marine officer with an impeccable service record.
Thank you, Judge.
Lieutenant, was Dawson given a rating of below average on that latest fitness report because you discovered he had been sneaking food to Private Curtis? Not so fast. Lieutenant.
Corporal Dawson was found to be below average because he committed a crime.
What crime did he commit? Lieutenant, Dawson brought a hungry guy some food. What crime did he commit?
Corporal Dawson disobeyed an order.
Yeah, but it wasn't an order, was it? Surely a Marine of Dawson's intelligence has the ability to decide which are the really important orders and which orders might say be morally questionable. Can he, Lieutenant? Can Dawson determine on his own which orders he's going to follow?
No, he cannot.
Lieutenant, one final question. If you ordered Dawson to give Santiago a code red,
Please, the court.
I told those men not to touch Santiago.
is it reasonable to think that he would have disobeyed you again?
Lieutenant, don't answer that.
You don't have to, I'm through.
Lieutenant Kendrick, did you order Corporal Dawson and Private Danny to give Willie Santiago a code red?
No, I did not.
Thank you.
Oh, Danny, I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Maybe we put Downey back in the stand before we get to Dawson.
Maybe if we work at it, we get Dawson charged with the Kennedy assassination.
Are you drunk?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, Danny, it was just a setback, but we'll fix it and then move on to Markinson.
Morkinson's dead. So since I seem to be out of witnesses, I thought I'd drink a little.
Oh, Danny, you're chicken shit. You're going to use what happened today as an excuse to give up.
It's over.
Let's put Jessup on the stand and end this thing.
What possible good could come from putting Jessup on the stand?
Damn it, Danny, he told Kendrick to order the code red, put Jessup on the stand and get it from him.
Yes, no problem. Colonel, isn't it true you ordered a code red at Santiago?
Oh, look, we're all a little tired.
I'm sorry, your time's run out. What do we have for the defence counsel, Caffey? That's right, it's a court-martial. Thank you for playing. Should we or should we not follow the advice of the galactically stupid?
You little snotty-nosed bastard.
I'd like an answer to my question, Judge.
The court will wait for an answer.
Kendrick ordered a code red, didn't he? Because that's what you told Kendrick to do.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled to them.
You want answers?
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth. Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls are guarded by men with guns. Who's gonna do it? You? You, Lieutenant Calloway? I have a greater responsibility than you can possibly fathom. You have the luxury of not knowing what I know. That Santiago's death, while tragic, saves lives. And my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible, saves lives. You don't want the truth, because deep down in parties you don't talk about. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. I neither have the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the very blanket of freedom that I provide, and then questions the manner with which I provide it. I'd rather you said thank you and be on your way. Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you're entitled to.
Did you order a code red?
I did the job I was meant to do.
Did you order a code red?
You're goddamn right I did.
The jurors are excused. Sergeant at Arms.
What's going on here? I did my job. I'll do it again. I'm getting on a plane and going back to my base.
MPs, guard the prisoner.
What's going on here? I'm being charged with a crime. You know, this is funny. I'm gonna rip off your eyes and piss on your dead skull. You fucked with the wrong Marine. Fucking people. You have no idea how to defend a nation. All you did was weaken the country today, Caffey. That's all you did. Sweet dreams, son.
Don't call me son. I'm a lawyer and an officer in the United States Navy. And you're under arrest, you son of a bitch. The witness is excused.
On the charge of murder, the members of the jury find the defendants not guilty. On the charge of conspiracy to commit murder, the members of the jury find the defendants not guilty. On the charge of conduct on becoming a United States Marine, the members of the jury find the defendants guilty as charged. The defendants are hereby sentenced by this court to time already served and are ordered to be dishonorably discharged from the Marine Corps. This court-martial is adjourned.
What did that mean? Hal, what did that mean? I don't understand. Colonel Jessup said he ordered the code red.
I know, but
Colonel Jessup said he ordered the code red. What did we do wrong?
it's not that simple.
What did we do wrong? We did nothing wrong.
Yeah, we did. We were supposed to fight for people who couldn't fight for themselves. We were supposed to fight for Willie.
Lieutenant Caffey, I've got to take these men over to personnel for some paperwork.
Harold,
Sir,
you don't need to wear a patch in your arm to have honor.
10 Hut. There's an officer on deck.